Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss a video from Testbook.com.
Hello everyone, this is Anjali, your mentor for English, and I welcome you all on Testbook.com. Today, as you can see, we are here with a new session and a very interesting one, I believe, which is there written on your board, as you can see, is frequently asked interview questions, right? So I have listed here around 4 to 5 questions which you can expect in your upcoming examination, where you might come across these questions irrespective of any exam which you are pursuing for. If there is a stage where you have to attempt or you have to attend any kind of an interview, such questions are going to be one of your forte if you accomplish a very good answer for all these questions, guys, right? Because the questions which I have written here has come across or has appeared to the students a number of times, right? In the interviews, if you are going as in facing for a PO in a bank, right? Or if you are going to face anything in other examinations as well, guys, right? So we are here to decode actually the myth and understand the tips and tricks to decode the answer for all these questions, guys. So I hope the session, and after this session you will be able to build your profile in a more a great way, so that you will be able to impress your interviewer in a multifold way, right? If we are going to talk about what is an interview, the first thing which should or which make people scared about is that you are going to come across a lot of questions in that questionnaire session and you have to answer for that question, right? Let us break that myth, guys, and understand that interview is not a one-way process, that somebody is going to throw you with a question and you need to throw an answer, right? Let us take it in a conversation, right? That the person who is sitting on the other side of the table is actually going to know what you are, what you have done till now, what other accomplishments are there which you have gone through, what are your potentials as a candidate for them, right? So you are also going to share your experience as a person, right? What you have done till now and why you are actually sitting there in front of them, that maybe your aim and their aim of searching a candidate is going to converge at some point, right? So unless they know you, how they are going to select you as a potential candidate for them, right? So you need to understand this and make the whole session very interesting, guys, right? Once you take it as a conversation, what you can have with your parents, you can have with your friends, or you can have with your mentors, right? Same kind of comfortable zone once you made over there, so things will be less stressful, guys, right? No need to worry about what kind of questions they are going to throw on you. It's just the way how you are going to tackle all these questions, guys, and that matters the most, right? So don't worry, the questions which is going to come in front of you remain same for other candidates as well, right? The only way you can make a difference in that session is the way you answer them, right? So once you take this thing in your mind, whole way of representing your answer is going to change. So without any delay, let us first understand the first question which I have listed on your board. It goes with tell me about yourself, right? And with this question, everybody is aware that what they are trying to know. It's just an ice-breaking question, right? They don't know you, you don't know them. So how you are going to have a conversation? How you are going to have a conversation with your stranger friend? What is your name? What have you done till now, right? So whenever you come across a stranger, this is the same question you ask to them, right? So it's just the same question the interviewer is going to ask to you. Now you need to understand what are their expectations from this question, guys. As soon as this question comes into your mind, the very important part you need to put focus on is yourself, guys. Now yourself should not include your name only and your education qualification, because the same thing would have been there in front of the bio data or the resume which you would have forwarded to them, right? Or the application process form. Any form you would have filled is basic details, isn't it? So what else they want to know about you, right? So it's something going to be a culmination of all your data, the things which you have pursued till now, what interests you, right? And what all our achievements are there, and how as a person you are, right? For example, I can use a lot of adjectives in my introduction, right? I can start with I am an avid reader, a traveling blogger, and a mentor for the students, right? Because I have always wanted to make a change or mark a significant change in somebody's life, so I chose this one, right? So I can start my introduction with the thing which comes as a goal to my mind, right? So when I take use of, or when I make use of adjectives in my introduction, it becomes more interesting to hear. The information part is going to be same, right? I would have pursued my education from ABC school, and I would have taken XYZ subjects, right? So these things are going to remain same. The only thing which you are going to change is the way you present, right? So yourself, this is going to be a culmination of all your personal data, plus along with that you are going to make use of what interests you as well, fine? And then along with this you can make use of who you are as in the person. When I say who you are, that should explain the peculiarity of your how you are different from others, right? So this should be the combination of your answer in tell me about yourself. Don't make it monotonous, guys. Even they know you are a person, right? So make it look like a conversation rather than an answer to that question. I believe this first question would be clear to you what you need to include into that, who you are with the uses of adjectives, guys, and the accomplishments which you would have done till now, right? So there might be one or two that is major of them. There might be 10 or 12, right? But do not start with a list. Choose any one or two which you feel that's an attractive factor, or that's an X factor for you, right? So you can go ahead with that part in your tell me about yourself question, right? Moving on to the second one we have in front of you, that is what are your strengths and weaknesses, guys. This is again a question which is actually derived from the previous one, because the strength and weaknesses are whose? Yours. So this actually comes under your first question only. So you would have not given this answer in one, so they might ask you this question separately. Now when we talk about strength and weaknesses, strength would be in terms of any thing which you have gone through your life. Example, you are very punctual, let's say, right? You have never missed any attendance, and you would have maybe awarded 100% attendance award in your school or college. You can mention these things as well. Do not think that, okay, why that one award which I got in my school is relevant to this. Maybe being punctual can be relevant to your work ethics as well, right? So you can make use of any minute things which you have thought that have acted as an accomplishment for you guys, right? So you need to actually analyze yourself, that where all have you gone forward in terms of other people, with the comparison to other people, right? So you can go with your include those strength points into your list, guys. When you see weakness, now don't say I have no weakness at all, right? Because this is not a possibility, guys. We all are human beings, and we incorporate good things as well as bad things in us. That doesn't mean we don't need to disclose it, right? We can explain one or two, but guys, remember, when you are explaining your weaknesses, you need to make sure you always explain after that what are your corrective measures surrounding. For example, I say that I am not good at communication, right? When I say, or I find that I lack behind in comparison to my peer groups who are very good at speaking English, let's say, right? So the next expectation which is coming to their mind would be, then what are your corrective measures, right? How you are working on it. See, Identifying your flaws is one part and working on them is the another one. So as soon as you point out that this is my flaw, you need to again explain that how you are working on it to make it at least a bit improvement, or you can expect any kind of improvement in further coming months or in days, right? Moving ahead, very interesting one. Again, this is also a derived question from one only, because this may be forming the base of the next or the upcoming questions, right? So when I say interest and hobbies, they might going to ask you that what all in the world which excites you, right? So when this question is actually coming to your kitty, you need to explain your hobbies, not like playing cricket only and then surfing internet. Fine, these can be one of your hobbies, no problem with that. But try to include any such hobbies which might give them a direction or a sign to them that this hobby person is passionate about element A. That means we can make use of this in our bank or in our institution as well, right? For example, somebody say, I like organizing events, right? So later bank personals can, or the person sitting over there can feel, okay, apart from being studious and apart from cracking this exam, you have also a brighter side of yours, and when any such kind of event is going to get organized, we can make use of this person in our events, right? So try to converge your aim and your hobbies to the things which they are looking for in their potential candidate, guys, right? That is going to be a smart way to answer for any question, right? Now, when I talk about hobbies, when I say ki, I like playing cricket, right? Now, with this question, actually you are giving them an open-end from anywhere they can ask question in that field, guys, right? It can start with who is your favorite player, right? Which is your favorite country? Maybe you, but obviously will say India, right? And then a lot of factual questions can get start with. Somebody might say that my favorite hobby is playing badminton, let's say. So when you say that is a badminton one, they might ask name some prominent players of India, right? Maybe you will say PV Sindhu. Then what is the ranking of PV Sindhu in the sports list which they form, right? In the world level where she lies, right? So a lot of questions are getting derived from. So you need to make sure whichever element you are going to explain it to them, you should be having sound knowledge about that field, guys. Then only this question is going to make a difference while you are answering, right? So do not tell any ABC thing unless you are sure that you are ready to counter the questions or to answer the questions which will be coming from their side. Moving ahead, we have the fourth question in front of you that goes with who is your role model. When I say who is your role model, they are not expecting any objective answer, okay, that Mr. A is my role model, or Mr. B is my role model, or Miss C is my role model. Why? What all things excites you about that? What is the thing which is missing in you and you want that to be like the person whom you are referring to, right? So again, refrain from taking any name about whom you are not aware of, right? That might be a possibility that you can take a name of your parents only, or let's say I have to take as a role model, I can take my father is my role model because of the ABC things which he has done for me, for the family, right? So it gives them insightful experience that, okay, what have you gone through your lifetime, right? Or how emotionally attached you are with that person. Or let's say if you are going to take any external person's name as well, for example, I can take Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam is my role model because of the contributions he has done for the country, right? So you can take name, but along with that name you should also explain, guys, that why that person is your role model. What is that X factor which has attracted you towards him or her? So when I say, if you would have noted the pattern of explanation, guys, with each and every question I am giving you a hint that with each and every answer you need to explain why, right? When you are explaining why, you are making that session as a conversation and not a questionnaire session, guys, right? So you need to break this myth. Moving ahead, the last question which we are going to see today is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is a question to judge your aspiration, right? That what are the ideas which is there in your mind. Guys, be realistic, okay? Don't think that, okay, I'll be opening a new bank branch after 5 years. Fine, there might be a possibility that 1 or 2% can open, but in a realistic scenario, this is not a very much feasible option to go for, isn't it? Or I will be the branch manager of my, let's say, bank or my organization or any XYZ post, right? So you can actually start with that. This is your learning phase to start, right? So you will learn all the pros and cons and in and outs of your organization, your responsibility, right? And along with that, you are ready to see yourself in a very good position down the lane after 5 years, and you expect that the sound knowledge of your industry should reach to, or you can make it or accelerate your studying knowledge or learning knowledge on the same domain to some other level, right? So you can give a realistic expectation when you are giving answer for this question, guys. Do not throw any manager's name, okay, this is a designation I want in 5 years, right? Fine. Why you want that designation in 5 years? What is the thing which has compelled you to say that, right? If you include that part in your answer, then also it is going to be fine. But my suggestion is, be realistic as much as you can, guys. So I believe all these 5 questions would have given you an insight that what are the questions which you can expect and how you can answer to it, right? The first thing after this, I would like you to again repeat, guys, make it a conversation, okay? The first major point after this session which should be embedded into your mind, make an interview as a two-way process or a two-way communication, not a single way. Second thing, if you see these questions very carefully, guys, these questions answer will actually come from where? From self-analyzing, right? Because I don't know your interest is, your teacher don't know what are your aspirations in the future, your parents are not much aware that what are your hobbies or interests, right? So while answering these questions, you can take help of other person in framing it, but the content is going to be original, guys, and it should be your answer, okay? Do not try to copy that, okay, I will hear it from person A because he has cracked that interview, so I'll copy that answer to me. You can copy the way, you can copy the way of tackling that question, but content should be original, guys, because you are a separate individual, your aspirations, your hobbies, and you are a different, altogether different person, right? And if you will set a wrong expectation in an interview, that might affect your journey afterwards, right? So I believe you try to inculcate all these tips into your profile building time, right? Take time, analyze yourself, write down your points, make rough notes, right? And after filling out 5-7 pages, you will realize that you have already come up with the answers of all these questions, and then segregate the answers for these questions, guys. So I believe this whole session would have given you an insightful experience about what an interview should be. So till the time, we'll again come up with such new sessions with a lot of interesting ones, and it might help you in your journey of cracking any exam and take you to the success path. So thank you, guys.